But in reality, you know, they are human beings. They got to reset their mind first and then reset the action.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break. We're going to take a quick detour and be back as soon as this problem is fixed. You are watching Fight Night Club on Versus from Los Angeles, California at Club Nokia. Of the Herman Binnick-Johan Banks fight. This is a 4-rounder, and we resume. Everything has been resolved. We are ringside. I'm Mario Solis, Doug Fischer, and of course, the middleweight king, Bernard Hopkins. All right, they're back at it, the big boys.
And you know, we saying heavyweights. I mean, Doug, this is a great argument. You can call this a super heavyweight fight. But hopefully they stay away from the ropes and they fight, and you know, a good fight, and people can go ahead and resume back to the action.
Doug, I don't know if you noticed, Bernard was trying to make light of the malfunction. He told one of the fighters that there would be a point deduction if they used the ropes, and he got the dirtiest look you've ever seen.
And I recanted my story, though. I apologize. I was being funny. He's making
smart
it up.
man. All right, so how does this affect the way the fight started and now after the interruption?
I think they're going to have to warm themselves up again. That was a long break. And, you know, the crowd is booing right now because before the malfunction with the ring, the action was just beginning to heat up. But these guys are dry now. It's not like they were doing calisthenics or skipping rope or hitting the mitts during that break when the ring was being repaired. So now they kind of have to move about and get the blood circulate and get a little bit of a sweat going before they let their hands go.
And I agree. I mean, the first heavyweight to hit each other, I mean, the first one that really lands a good solid punch, I think that will start, you know, the flow of, you know, good right hand just now. But it'll start the flow of now getting back into, you know, the beginning.
That was Johan Banks with a little tap as we reach the end of a long first round with a certain trepidation, trying to not lean too much against the ropes. I don't know if you noticed Binnick trying to push his body towards the center of the ring. All right, well, that was probably the longest round, first round in the history of boxing. Can you give it a draw?
You got it. I mean, in that case, you got to give a guy both even. If it's even round, to be fair.
I like Banks. I like Banks. I think he was the aggressor. I think he was trying to make a fight happen.
Trust me. Just like you do against Ashante, stay strong in the middle and run short, punch it. Bam! But long, okay?
One guy is standing, one guy is sitting. That doesn't, you know, either way. It just shows that, you know, one guy just don't want to sit down because he's ready to go right from the corner.
Is that body language? Is he trying to send a message that
he's
in good condition?
Yes,
or,
I mean, a lot of us, you know, that's what that's about. It's like macho. Sometimes
even if it's only a 4-rounder?
Yes, because it's like, I'm not tired, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, right.
You know.
All right, well, Binnick comes out trying to establish his style in round 2.
And he is a southpaw, which is kind of rare for big guys, but it doesn't seem to be posing much of a problem for Banks yet. And that's probably because Binnick doesn't have a jab. You know, in order for that southpaw stance to really pose a problem to the orthodox fighter, he's got to get a jab going. He has to sort of establish some distance.
And not only, you know, he's not using his jab, but he's also not, you know, being on the right angle on the right side to counter on the southpaw. Southpaw, you know, they'll tear you up going straight backwards with the straight left.
Binnick eating some leather as Banks has been starting his attack with that short little jab.
Now Banks against the ropes, and he's, you know, he's mauling. And
it's Binnick against
the ropes, and he's mauling and holding, and you know, trying to, you know, get off the ropes, which he did. And
I get the feeling Binnick is he's trying to warm himself up and get that jab going. He's starting to get it going here. Banks kind of looks for big punches, looks for power shots.
And he seems a little winded now. I don't know if you notice, he's starting to breathe from his mouth, and he's throwing some punches, but very deliberate and almost like in slow motion. He doesn't really have a lot of speed.
That's the inexperience.
Not a lot of pop. Yeah.
You know, we sort of dismiss this as just a 4-rounder, but to these guys, it's a big deal. They're on
you can see
national
how he kind of
television.
loads up, and you can anticipate what he's about to do.
They're a little bit tight, and even though the action hasn't been extremely brisk by heavyweight standards, I'm sorry, featherweight standards, by heavyweight standards, when these guys swing and miss a little bit, they feel it. They get winded.
I'm not anticipating either of these guys, either one's throwing 100 punches or 25 punches around. I think that the ones that effective punches, like right now, effective punches been thrown.
All right, Binnick now landing with a little bit of pop there.
Binnick's he's starting to zero in with that straight left. And it's Mercury.
That's his power punch, of course.
And his aggressiveness is wearing his opponent down. And that straight left is going right, hitting the mark.
Banks is now flat-footed.
Yes, he is. Banks is flat-footed, but I think he's going to hit with that straight left, and it's going to do damage.
Banks is looking really winded. He's really breathing hard here. I mean, they both are, but to me, it seems like with the second part of the round, Binnick is starting to get into his comfort zone.
His punches has nothing. I mean, he's just winging them out there.
Yep.
Doug, he's just winging them out there, and he's looking to get countered.
If you give this shit away, because you gave it, you're a better fighter than him. First round, you came out looking good. All of a sudden, you're breathing hard. Look, I get it. You're seeing him. What he does, you're going underneath. Look, Johan. Where's the catch and roll? Those punches will catch him. You did it right now. You took him all the way back. But then after that, now you're dropping your hands. Stop. Hey, dude, do this every day in practice. We work on this every day. Don't be a different fighter now.
Action from the second round. And Binnick, the second half of that round, zeroing in with his straight left.
Don't give this away. You hear me?
Here we're going to see another angle. Nice, quick, straight left, right in the inside. And he lined Banks up for it again. I scored that second round for Binnick based on those straight lefts that landed.
No doubt. No doubt that this is round 2. All right, now Banks showing a little bit more energy. His corner reminding him to keep the same game plan they've been working on day after day in the gym. A little bit more aggressive, bring your arms and defense up.
I think that's good for Banks to do, because if he's just standing in front of Binnick, then that southpaw style becomes a factor.
Sitting duck.
And he was a sitting duck for straight left hands at the end of the last round. If he's moving or coming forward, smothering the southpaw, the stance really doesn't matter.
The question is, how much energy does he really have? It appears that after almost a minute now, he's going back to his old ways, at least from what he was doing in the latter part of round 2.
You don't have too much energy left. He just took a big breath. He just right now just trying to get his legs and his arms, because he's shaking his arms. He's trying to get the feeling back because he's tired. It take more energy for him to lift his arm to actually throw a punch. As you see him shaking off the rust. It's still a good left hook just now. There's nothing behind it, no power.
And he's exhausted, and I think, his inexperience is a factor. He didn't have any amateur bouts. Binnick did have amateur bouts in Germany, limited amateur experience, but he has amateur experience. And he trains here in Southern California at the Fortune Gym in Hollywood, and he gets quality sparring. Not always against big men, but against light heavyweights and occasionally cruiserweights, maybe even a super middleweight every now and then. But they're world-class guys, and they give him experience that should serve him well in this final round, these final 2 rounds.
And either Binnick is also tired, or he's just waiting for the right moment to attack.
And then he just did. Straight left. That straight left. That straight left is the punch for a southpaw with an orthodox fighter.
He's waiting for that opening.
That's the punch to look out for.
And I'll tell you what, it's pretty straight, and he's got above average hand speed for such a big man. Binnick does.
That straight left hurt. That straight left was right on the right down the pipe.
And occasionally he aims it to the midsection of Banks, which a guy who's that tired doesn't like to get hit with.
Another solid left by Binnick. Then he attacks the body.
We just got rain showered over here. Where's Sissoko?
I think you got the worst of it. All right, we're back. Herman Binnick against Johan Banks. Still a little surprised that he opted not to use the stool after that exhausting third round. This is the fourth and final round in this heavyweight match.
Maybe if he sat down, he wouldn't get back up, so he decided to stay standing.
I agree, but I think that personally, I think that he should at least took one of the rounds where he could have sat down or should have sat down. And right now he wants to maul and stay close because I don't think he can go out with a full-blown arson to get the respect of his opponent.
Nice exchange there as both know the time is running out. This is the